Hey, what's going on, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right. So, I'm sitting here, and I could have very easily looked this up on Google. As you guys know, it makes all the sense in the world to just do your own homework. But nah, I'd rather make content and give myself something to talk about. But I, for the life of me, at this moment, do not remember how Jordan Clarkson left the Lakers. I don't remember for the life of me. It has escaped me. All I know is that he's not here now. He plays for the Jazz, and he's been with the Jazz for a million years. But did we trade him there? Did he sign there? Did he walk? I don't remember. Did we trade him somewhere else? It hasn't come back to me yet. But I think about it and I say, I'm listening to rumors. I was just listening to a guy by the name of As It Stands, and he was reporting on different trades that the Lakers could do with the Utah Jazz, and I was intrigued by that scenario, except for the fact that there's one problem. That's Danny Ainge, man. You saw what he just did to the Timberwolves. Ain't nobody gonna want to do no business with Danny Ainge, least of all us, the team that everybody's trying to fleece. We the last people should be calling Danny Ainge for anything. Trust me, that's a nightmare, man. He's gonna fleece you for sure. But I will say, there are pieces over there that you should want. There should be some interest in a guy like Vanderbilt. Malik Beasley would fit right in with what we're doing. Obviously, Jordan Clarkson's a player we had initially, and somebody that we really, really appreciated when we had him here. And he's developed so much, you just understand that he probably should have been doing all of that in your uniform. And you just look at the situation and you say, how did so much young talent just end up not being on our team? Oh yeah, Clarkson was in a trade to the Cavs, right? We traded him and Larry to the Cavs. That's how that went. Helping LeBron out, getting involved in that trade. And what did we bring back? Who did the Cavs give us? Oh man, that right there, I honestly do not remember. I guess it'll come back to me in increments. But these are the type of things you look up and you say, well, those are two players that we really enjoyed having. I remember sitting up thinking, and I've said this on camera a couple times, we had a trio of power forwards that could all leap in Larry Nance Jr., Kyle Kuzma, and Julius Randle. And I just remember how fun that team was to watch play, having him. And then B.I. was also on that team as well. And you just think about how talented that team would have been if we would have just kept everybody just together. Just not do anything from there. I mean, granted, I don't know if they would have been good enough to win a championship in this as soon as 2020. But by the time 2022 came around this year, oh yeah, we would have been the best team in the league for sure. We would have been the best team in the league for sure. There ain't no question about that. When you look at the type of talent we have and you look at how they're playing in other situations, you think about the synergy they would have kept together, oh man, that Laker team would have been really good. Look at how Boston's ascended and how they've added pieces to their situation. Obviously, we would have added pieces too because we would have never lost our pick. So you think about some of the players that would have been added to that situation. The possibilities. I know that we got 2020, and I don't know that a young team could have got through the bubble like that. I don't think so. But it's just one of those things where it's like, man, I really am not certain that team didn't have a championship ceiling if we would have continued to add to it the way that we have. Alex Caruso came up through our ranks. You would have added him to that. Obviously we've picked up Austin Reeves in the second round. He still would have been a part of this. There's no path that he wouldn't have been a part of this. So it's like there's a lot of stuff that's like, man, we let a lot of talent go. And if we would have managed it a little better, not only would we have had a future, but it would have been very bright. Super bright. Blinding even. So I don't know, man. I just want the Lakers to consider what that was. I like our championship, situation that we found ourselves having won it in 2020 and now still having some of the best players in the world, LeBron James and Anthony Davis on tab. It's not nothing to sneer at. And Bron can be anywhere in the world. So you appreciate that he chose to come to your franchise. And at the time, it looked as if that was absolutely and utterly the only thing that was going to save you. I think that patience would have been a pretty solid path, though. I think if they would have just weathered the storm and kept those young players together, they would have been happy overall too. So these are the type of things you think about when you're considering rebuilding the team, when you consider what it looks like going forward, because you built once with a bunch of young kids, and although it wasn't an easy path because you were dealing with irrelevancy, a lot of that had to do with what was going on with the front office at the time, not necessarily how people felt about the prospects of what the Lakers had. So I don't think that presence would necessarily be in place going forward with this rebuild if we do things correctly. And so that should give us a lot more leverage to maybe get free agents and ultimately have a little more go right for us with this go round with the rebuild. I think that's also another thing. I don't honestly think we drafted properly when we did that. Even though we loved the kids that we had, sometimes we passed up on the right guys that were a little more conventional that otherwise would have just been drafted. We picked up for Laker reasons. I don't know that the organization will make that decision again in the rebuild. I think they'll be a bit more conventional with their second picks, that kind of thing. Taking Lonzo Ball over Jason Tatum, that never makes any sense in any year, even as a fan of Lonzo Ball, because Jason Tatum is a taller player who can affect both ends of the floor in a more potent way naturally. So you're going to automatically project him ahead of Lonzo that year. He was projected ahead of Lonzo that year. It was just that Lonzo was from LA, and we were all gung-ho, including my very own self, gung-ho about bringing him to LA. And even so, we knew he wasn't a better player than him, and we didn't think he was really a better player than Fox. We just didn't care. And some of those type of things that the Lakers have done over the years that just have put them in the position they're in, and undoing that logic going forward is the way to go. We get kind of rocked to sleep in the idea of bringing back old players, and I think it can get us in trouble if we go about it the wrong way. Trying to get Clarkson, you know what I mean? If it ends up taking 2 picks to get him just so we can have a reunion of JC, I don't know that that's the right move for the Los Angeles Lakers. Same thing with Kyle Kuzma. If it's going to take 2 picks to get him, that reunion probably shouldn't take place. So these are the type of things I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? I just know our team's prone to doing certain campy, corny type of stuff like that. It's like, let's bring back the old guys. It's like, I like the old guys too, but, what is it going to cost to bring them in? Maybe we should try to get some new guys and this time keep those guys. That's the logic. So as I consider the team and what will help the team, that's ultimately what I see there. Ultimately getting us some more second-round picks, as I've been talking about. Getting first-round picks, if at all possible, in the future. Obviously, right now, it's not going to be very possible. But obviously, holding on to the ones you have and seeing them as even more valuable, what it is they're priced at, is the way to go. There's a reason why everybody wants them. It's the same reason why you should be holding on to them, because they're valuable. And so that's what I know. And when they turn into something proper, we're going to be happy we kept them, because they're going to be homegrown Lakers that we drafted. It just took a little while to see that manifest, but by the time we get them, we'll be happy. I mean, you look at us. We're excited about the players that we drafted in the back of the bench. Guys like Austin Reeves and Alex Caruso, we don't never want to see them leave. You know what I'm saying? So if these first-round picks, they definitely manifest into players. Max Christie, a player we got with a second-round pick. Did we care about the second-round pick before we drafted Max Christie? Hell no, we're ready to throw those away for anything. But now that we have Max Christie and he manifested into what he is, are you ready to give him away for that same amount? Of course not. You are not. And so that's how you have to value the picks ahead of time, because that's what they turn into. Players that you ultimately have in your own homegrown environment that you can bring and love as your own. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? So I think these picks need to be valued as such, as pieces that the fan base can believe in. So that's ultimately what you sell to LeBron James in regards to keeping them. It's not like you're selling that to him. It's the explanation for why you haven't given them away. Is you understand how much a homegrown Laker player means to the fan base. It means a lot, man. It really does, especially this fan base. So I want to see us try to get young players, man. It's not just about having them drafted here. It's about getting them early enough and getting them incorporated into what we do so that nobody remembers them as anything but a Los Angeles Laker. That's also part of it, So I just know what to build the brand as well. It's not just about getting the talent and getting the assets, but it's about actually improving upon the culture of the Los Angeles Lakers, which is something that is got the wrong image on it. And as a result, it's hard for us to move. Everybody looks at us as a team that's trying to mortgage everything for superstars because we must keep up with the Hollywood lifestyle. What we need to do is get away from that image so that we can open up opportunities to have more assets come our way at a lesser price, I think, because as long as they have that moniker above them, people are going to price everything at a certain price because of it, assuming that you're always going to be willing to mortgage your future. So you just got to, change your whole image around to disarm them of that. So that's one part of it as well. So yeah, man, that's what I see, man. It's about building this thing up. Getting something out of nothing is the only way forward when you don't have a whole lot. The Los Angeles Lakers do not have a whole lot unless they give up players they'd rather have retire in their uniform. And I'm starting to think that might be kind of the thought. I mean, probably want LeBron to retire a Laker, even though it don't look likely. I don't know that Genie wants that, but if you're the owner of the Lakers, whoever you are, let's say you just remove Genie and somebody else is the owner of the Lakers, that general seat wants LeBron to retire a Laker. You see what I'm saying? It's like that's just what should be there. Now, whether or not Genie personally wants him there, or whether it's gone well because of the presence of Clutch or whatever, it's a whole nother conversation. But the Lakers definitely want LeBron retiring a Laker, if that makes any sense. So we need to try to value him in a way that allows him an understanding of what's going to help him get to a place where this place is good for him. So that's ultimately what it is. Rather than having him seeing greener pastures elsewhere, a quicker championship, what he needs to understand is that he's going to have to go to another organization that's going to have to move things around to fit his culture. And that's not going to be an easy transition for anybody, any owner, even the ones that he's been at before. To try to reincorporate him back, it's hard, man. It's hard. You can see how the Lakers are struggling with that, just with the sheer understanding that, you want things a certain way. It's tough. So I don't think moving franchise is going to be the easiest thing in the world for Bron, and I don't know that welcoming him into every organization is going to be the easiest thing. Every locker room, for sure, easy, no problem. But every organization, I don't know. That's a whole other conversation. You're not just inheriting a player; you're inheriting a franchise. That's a whole corporation that LeBron brings with him, several actually. So, that's an event. That's definitely that's a force moving. So I just look at LeBron James and say he's probably best if he just stays put and invests in the Lakers, just like the Lakers should invest in him. And he should want to keep these 2 picks, but he should want to see the team improve. And so I don't know how to do that. Man. I think the best way to do that is just, paying attention to what you see in real time and adjusting to what it is that you see. That is the exact thought. Because really things change so fast in this league. It's like, okay, this didn't look like a good idea right now, but like 3 minutes from now, yeah, it's a great idea. You might want to move. That's what you study, I guess. I mean, I don't envy these guys. I love to make it as simple as some of the conversations that I had on the internet. Trade this guy, make that thing happen, and you can trade him for that. But the reality is you can make one false move, as we've seen a million times, and throw your entire timeline off, your entire cap situation off, and etc. So, that's why you want experts in place. That's exactly why you got to make sure you have the right people in place. It's not about anything other than that. So that's the idea. Now, the Lakers, in regards to the different players that I want to see them get, I do really want to see us get another center, man. I gotta admit, the back of that bench, if we're gonna have Damian Jones not play at all, let's just move on from the guy. Swap him out for someone else. That's the best thing I can think of. We created a roster spot, and removing 37 is a weapon. Who is Matt Ryan? If you guys follow my channel, that's what we always call him. Plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves now, shooting threes for them, but waived him, didn't replace anybody with the roster spot. I think we can create another roster spot by waiving Damian Jones. He's just wasting the man's time, man. I'm not even talking about, oh, he sucks, get him off my team or some weird energy like that. No, I'm talking about if a guy's going to be sitting for 7 to 8 games in a row when your main big is out, and then you got another big that steps up and starts playing like an all-star, so you know it's even less playing time for this guy. It's like, what is he sitting there for, man? He's too athletic. He's too young of a player. And these are prime years. Or whatever level he's at, he shouldn't be sitting. That's really what I think. And, guys would rather be in the NBA. Don't get it twisted. I'd rather sit on the back of an NBA bench than play in China. But for the organization, that doesn't necessarily mean that's best for you. So you have to consider that, man. You really have to consider that. I think Damian Jones is a serviceable guy who can catch a lot of lobs. He's shown me some good playing time last I seen him play. So that's what kind of sucks about it all. I've seen his struggles, but if the last time I saw him do something, it was good, you definitely want to see a guy again. So I think I kind of dropped the ball there, but that's just it's part of it, and it's okay. We just have to make sure that we do the right thing going forward. And so we got some players we're excited about. Now the Cole Swider's back. Maybe that fills the void. Hopefully we can keep these players that we've called up, which will, kind of help with what it is we're talking about. But I want to see us make sure our roster spots are filled with players we're using. I look at different teams like Sacramento, and it was another squad as well. I don't remember who it was, but they had a bench full of players that they used. It might have been some garbage time, but the point was you saw more players active than we have active on a given night. What that can equate to is them having more doable starters, more doable bench players as well, because they swapped them out, and you will see them be able to manage their schedule better than most and be healthier in the playoffs because of it. So we need to study these teams like Sacramento who are doing that and kind of do that ourselves, because we have some players that we have leaned on too much, and now some of them are hurt, and that was the solution there, is what Sac's doing, using like 20 and 30 guys and just swapping them out accordingly. So as I look around and I study different teams that are doing that, Miami tends to do that as well. I just think that's the way for the Lakers to go, man. We're a farm system that constructs of two teams, the Lakers and the South Bay Lakers. And so if we can continue to use those two teams to help us build the talent that we have, we can start having more confidence in our second round picks as players that can be real pieces and not worry so much about these big contracts, and just hold on to what it is that makes us the most flexible, and whatever we can do for ourselves over the short term, we can at least take care of this throughout. So that's what I'm looking at. It's like, LeBron and AD thing, their health and all of that is outside of our control, but we can definitely continue to find Austin Reeves. We can definitely continue to find Kyle Kuzma's and keep developing these guys and make them our very own. These Max Christie guys and Swiders and, Winion Gabriels, keep them, keep developing them. And I am very certain, if for some reason we don't have these stars, we'll have some more stars in their stead. That's how that'll go. If somebody will take the Laker bag, I don't think we'll go back to the way things were, so long as we continue to keep this in mind. Simple as that. The Nets are starting to get it. That's exactly what they've done. They've hired Jock Vaughn, and I heard Magic Johnson. I second that. They need to extend Jock Vaughn immediately. Joe Tsai, I think, would be wise to extend everybody on that team right now, including Kyrie Irving, without the contingencies of whatever god-awful mindset stuff he would rather, put in place on that contract. Just let him be himself, man, because your team is a lot better with him. And so if you're not going to do that, trading him is still the way to go. LeBron James still want to play with him. That's obvious. So I just think that's something we need to be thinking about. I know that Kyrie Irving is probably a long shot for the Lakers at this point, but I still don't see any reason why we shouldn't be still kicking the tires there, especially given how he's playing. That's somebody you want on your team. And if Joe Tsai is not going to pay him, I don't know. Maybe it should be us. So that's something I'm not going to let go of. Not at all, especially given the fact that we're getting better as a team. It's like when you add that piece to it, obviously we'd be getting rid of Russell Westbrook, but it's like you're bringing in Kyrie Irving. So there are things that Russell does that Kyrie can't do, but there's things that Kyrie can do that Russell's going to hurt us at, man. This is going to hurt us at. And so we've seen that as recently as the Nuggets game, and that's kind of fueling a little bit of what it is I'm thinking right now in that regard. It's just like at the end of the day, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can trust Russell Westbrook, even though I can't live without him. I can't trust him. I just can't. His basketball IQ is going to fail me when I mean not to. And me trusting that it's not going to is not a good bet, even if he comes through. You know what I mean? Even if it's like he proves me wrong and he makes the best play and it works out. Before that, it's a bad gamble. You feel me? Before that, it's a terrible bet. So that's where we're at, man. And so that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, if I can trade Russell Westbrook for Kyrie Irving, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that today. Um, I understand that I'd be losing some velocity at the rim and some strength and some durability, which is necessary for this franchise. But I'm bringing back some basketball IQ and someone that I know can win with LeBron James. Somebody to make LeBron James chill out in regards to what it is he wants to see the Lakers do as well. If we make that trade, he'll be happy. So these are the type of things that I think the Lakers should be considering. And judging by the fact that KD just went down and the Nets timeline might have been adjusted because of it, and now they're going to have to lean on Kyrie Irving and he could go down because of it, it may be wise for them to try to get value for Kyrie before that process even begins. So I don't know if they want to do that. It's risky. The fan base will hate it. But if they're not going to re-sign him, the fan base is going to hate him even more for letting him walk to the Lakers in the offseason and not getting at least some value for him, especially when you consider $47 million coming off the books for a team like the Nets can do a wonderful thing for them in the offseason. Even if they don't like the free agents, they can make trades with that cap space and bring themselves some picks for which they do not have. So paying a luxury tax on that $47 million is a no-no for a lot of franchises. I know San Antonio's thinking about doing it, though, from what I understand. But if I'm the Nets, I really don't want to do that, given how good the team's been looking. Jacque Vaughn in place, I probably don't even want to do all that. But at the end of the day, if Kyrie's leaving, not re-signing him, it's obviously something that's going to make the fan base unhappy. But if they put some stuff on that contract that he ain't going to like, it may not be about them not offering him a deal. It may be about him not wanting the deal that they offer. So I don't know, man. It's risky getting into negotiations when you've had this type of recent history. If I were the Nets, I probably wouldn't want to be in that situation. Even as he's playing well, sometimes when you look at what AD the Lakers just went through with AD, we got a nice little scare there. It looked like he might have been out for the season for a while. When we had a chance to trade him when his value was high. You know what I'm saying? I think Kyrie's in that same spot with the Nets. They have a chance here, but they're gonna do what they got to do, and they probably got better offers. Maybe they do, especially with the way he's playing right now. I'm pretty sure there are other teams. Very much other teams who will want to bring Kyrie to them. So, it is what it is. I think that if the Lakers could have made that deal at any point, it probably already would have been made. I think the ball has always been in the Nets' court in regards to that one. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to update my thought on that. So, yeah, wherever I was going before that, I've forgotten. But at the end of the day, I do want to see the Lakers get some young talent, give ourselves an opportunity to, just maximize what is all around best for us while still protecting what is all around necessary to protect. If you can't keep that very, very specific balance, then you're probably leaning one way or another that will probably lean the wrong way and have us tumbling down the standings in future seasons based on these decisions. So, yeah, that is my thought, man. I want the Lakers to just do what makes sense in the moment, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I've said a million times that I want her to fire Rob Pelinka. I said a million times I wanted to move on from Clutch. I don't know if this 5-game winning streak has really changed my mind on that, man. I don't think so. I know we're waiting for a move. I'm anticipating it being something decent. I'm hopeful that it'll be a good move. But whatever that move will be, or a series of moves will be or won't be, will probably further determine my opinion in regards to that. Right now, I'm like, yeah, but I'm waiting to see what he's going to do. But I'm worried that if it's the wrong thing, it'll be too late. That's the thing. It's like, Jeannie, if I were in that seat, judging by what it is I'm seeing, I'd have probably fired him now. That'd probably been the thing I did. And we would just not have a GM, which leaves us in shambles. But I can't risk him making no kind of move that's going to leave me bad for a long time. Him anticipating him getting fired when this thing goes left with LeBron James, which it looked like it may, one way or another, especially if AD goes down. So it's like all the odds are pointing this thing going left, and where my mind goes is just protect your neck. If you're the organization, you protect your neck, and it just seems like Genie's leaving that thing right there, right there. If we, all kinds of exposed, and I'm just like, I don't know about that, buddy. I'm not so sure that's the right thing. Salute the Kobe minute, of course. I've been missing it here and there, but we always try to get it right when we think about preservation of this franchise. Ultimately, he gave us 20 years, and we always want to acknowledge the 5 NBA championships and 7 NBA Finals appearances that he can help contribute to. And we could not have done all of that if not for good front offices making good decisions. A guy like Jerry West being able to see what needed to be done and being able to tangibly bring it to the team without destroying it. That would be somebody I'd love to hire, even though I don't think anybody would like that reunion right now, given how things have gone. But I think just from an X's and O's standpoint, science of basketball, who do I trust standpoint, there ain't too many more people I trust than the guy over there down the hall. Not too many more than that. But I don't know what the heck they're doing. I will tell you that, though. They look like they're kind of in shambles, too, which is another reason why I'm saying these things. Because they're nowhere. You want to know the truth about the Clippers? They're nowhere. They're absolutely nowhere. As long as they're married to Kawhi, they're nowhere. It's the truth. So he's sitting there nowhere. And we're sitting here nowhere. BDL 44. He wore 44 for the Lakers. Thanks for watching.